Hi everyone, Kendall here with Lousy Llama Creations, and today I will be showing you how to make this super fun frog purse. You're going to need a 5mm crochet hook, green, black, and white yarn. I used medium weight for worsted. I specifically used Big Twist from Joann's. You're also going to need locking stitch markers and tapestry needles and scissors, of course. This tutorial is going to go through everything, but if you'd like the pattern, I have it linked down below. It's a PDF and it has all the pictures and step-by-step instructions so you can follow along there. So starting off, we're going to make two big green bases, and this is what's going to be like the majority or the base of our purse. Bear in mind this is a confident beginner pattern, so I'm going to make a magic ring. I'm going to make single crochets. If you have no idea how to do that, the PDF of the pattern does have step-by-step pictures of how to do a magic ring and single crochet, as well as my YouTube channel has other videos, but that's not what the point of this video is today. So I'm going to start with my cat Cashew. Hey buddy, why don't you sit down? Thank you. I'm going to start by making my magic ring. I'm going to make an X with the green yarn. I have my 5.0mm hook, go under, over. Try not to split your yarn like I did. I'm going to do one chain, and then I'm going to make my 6 single crochets. So something you might notice throughout the video is that I yarn under for my single crochets. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't really make a difference. Technically it makes the purse slightly smaller, but I've made it both ways and I don't see a difference. But if you're watching the video and you're like, what on earth is she doing? That's what I'm doing. I think they're faster. I have my 6 single crochets for round 1, pull my tail, and I have a circle. All pieces will be worked in a spiral, so we're not joining or anything like that unless specified. I put my stitch marker in the last stitch that I make. Round 2 is increase 6 times. An increase is 2 single crochets in each stitch. So I'm going to put my hook into my first stitch, which is a little tight today. A lot tight today. Oof, there we go. 1 single crochet, and then within the same stitch, I'll add a second. And that was 1 increase. I'm going to repeat that for all 6 so that our 6 single crochets become 12. Just finished the 12, putting my stitch marker back in. I switched to my furls hook because my cat's chewed on my favorite prim hook and it catches on the yarn. So I'll be getting a new hook, but in the meantime, I'll be using my furls, which I love. That was round 2. Round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then an increase in the next stitch. So you go 1 and then a double. Repeat that around so you have 18 stitches. Round 4 is 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 1 in the next, 1, and then an increase. So you have 1, 1, double. I'm not going to show you the rest of this, but you're going to continue this till round 15. So the next round will be 3 single crochets and then an increase. Round after, 4 single crochets and then an increase, all the way up to 13 single crochets and an increase. You should have 90 stitches for the circle at the very end. It'll be relatively this size. You'll make 2 of these bases, and that's going to be the majority of the purse. So I want to hop off camera. I'm going to make my 2 bases, and then we'll come back together to do the strap. For the strap, I chained 200. If you want it to be a little longer or a little shorter, you can do that. Just bear in mind you should have like at least 90 chains because this wraps around the whole base of the purse and then it's the strap. For row 1, you're going to single crochet in the second chain from hook and then all the way down the row. 1 single crochet into every single stitch. You're then going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to repeat this for a total of 4 rows. So you have a strap like this. We're working long ways because you're going to love how easy it is to attach it to the purse. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my strap, which will take a little bit, but it'll be worth it because we don't want too much stretch or any weird tension things with our strap just because it does so much. So I want to hop off and do that, and then we'll make the belly and the eyes. To finish up my strap, I'm going to fold it in half so that my ends are next to each other. And you want to make sure that your strap isn't twisted at all. Might want to check a few times because it will not work. It'll be very annoying. Let's see, nice and flat, flat, flat. There we go. So all the way at the end, I'm going to use one of my tails and put my tapestry needle on. And we're going to sew our two ends together to make one big circle. Because this is going to be at the bottom of the bag, I go through it quite a few times with both tails, just going back and forth, and then I'll weave in my ends. To actually assemble our bag, we're going to take our flat base panels, and you're going to notice because of all our increases that it sort of makes a hexagon, which is perfect and exactly what we need. Excuse me, Peanut. I want to take my stitch markers and mark the opening and closing based off the increases or the corners of our hexagon. It doesn't have to be exactly even, the right stitches about is totally okay. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna take my strap. I want this to be on the inside, so I'm kind of flipping it inside out. I'm gonna place it at the bottom and use another stitch marker to stitch it onto the base. And then I'm going to kind of push my strap around and line it up. I'm going to be starting with our left corner. This is my front, our right side. Hold it together. And then you can move your stitch marker going through both if you find that a little easier. With my yarn, my working yarn, I'm going to make a slip knot, put it on my hook, just like I'm starting a new piece. And then I'm going to go into the corner, going through the base. Let's move this guy out of the way. Going through the base and then onto the strap and making a single crochet. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So going through the base and then through the strap. I'm single crocheting, making it all one piece. You're going to do this all the way around till you reach your other end, because this will be our purse opening. Fasten off, and then you'll repeat the same thing on the back side with your second panel. Now that our bag's all assembled, we have to make all the details to make this actually look like a frog. So with our white yarn, we're going to be doing similar to our base. We're going to go from the beginning of our magic circle with 6 single crochets to 6 increases, all the way up to single crochet 5, increase, repeat 6 times. That will give us a circle about yay big, and then we'll sew it onto the belly. We're going to need to make 2 eyes, so we're going to start with the black. Have my black yarn, and we'll start with our magic ring. And we're going to place 6 single crochets into it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we'll close it, but we're going to make a slip stitch into the first single crochet we made. So I know you can't really see it in the black, but you're going to insert your hook into the first single crochet you made. Yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. Leave a tail, and fasten off. And this will be our eye. With our green yarn, we'll start with our magic ring. And again, we're going to place 6 single crochets in it. We're going to close it, and we're not going to slip stitch it. We're going to work in our spiral. We're going to place 6 increases all the way around so that our 6 becomes 12. For our last round, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then an increase into the next stitch. You should have 18 single crochets at the end. You're going to want to make 2 of these circles. one we're gonna fasten off and one we're gonna leave on our hook. So I'm giving myself a little bit of room, taking out my hook, but this one's the one that's still attached to the green yarn. And we're gonna sew our black pupil onto the middle. So I'm gonna find my tail, put it on my tapestry needle. Make sure you're not sewing over your working yarn bit. I want to hold it in the middle, and then I'm going to stitch it around. I want to tie my black yarn together in the back and then trim it just so it doesn't get in our way. I'm doing I believe it's called a back stitch. Ooh, embroidery people will have to tell me so. But you go into the next stitch and then back behind it. So you kind of skip 2, go forward, and then go back 1. And this just makes sure every little bit gets covered. And I'm trying to make it as even as I can. And again, don't sew over your working green yarn. You'll have to take it apart. Okay, almost all the way around. It's a little uneven because I was doing it on camera and I always rush myself, but that's okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to take my other black tail and stick it through the back. I'll tie a square knot just so I know it won't come undone. And let's trim this in our initial green tail. Not too close because we're not weaving it in. I'm going to put my hook back on my yarn. This is the green circle that we fastened off. And we're going to sandwich the 2 together, back to back. With our working yarn, we're going to insert through the black eye, I don't know what to call this one, the circle that has the black dot on it, into the back and single crochet. We're basically turning our 2 green circles all into one. So going through both layers and making a single crochet. We'll do this around. When you get to the other tails, you can trim them a little bit and then shove them back inside. The eyes are not stuffed or anything like that. It just takes a few stitches to go all the way around. Trim it a little bit and then stick them in. And again, because we're not weaving in those ends, make sure you're not cutting it too close. Shove this in a little more. And try to make it as round as I can, but that's okay. It's not perfect. And then go on my last one. And then fasten off. Oop. All the way fasten off. And then we have 2 eyes on our actual purse. I sewed them to our, oop, if you can focus, hi there. Wow. Sewed it onto the single crochet that we did around to assemble it. I sew it like that on the outside of the strap. And then over here, I still need to sew my belly on, but I'm going to do the same method I did to sew the eyes on. But I'll show you how to do the mouth real quick. Take a little bit of black yarn, put it on my needle, or split the whole piece. Okay. Trim the black, put it on the needle. Try the other end. There we go. I'm using scrap yarn, so this isn't really my go-to. So you'll want to sew on the belly first, but I've made this purse about 100 times, so I know where the mouth goes. I'm going to start on the inside, poke out one corner of the mouth, pull through, but leave an inch or 2 in the back. Go across however big you want the mouth, and we're going to be making a straight line. He's going meep, but to make it an actual smile, we're gonna go down. I go about 2 stitches down in the middle, and then I'll drag the straight line down. Just like that. And then I'm going to tie a knot on the back. And then I can't weave these in because it will show on the green, so I just make sure my knot's tied really close and leave a little bit of room. So then once I sew on all my parts, my frog is finished. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made this adorable frog purse. I hope you loved it. I hope you had a great time making it. If you did and you made it, comment below because I like to know how many people actually make my projects. If you share on social media, you should tag me at Lousy Llama Creations because I'd love to see it. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.